I'm Jason Daffin. I'm the captain of the Criminal Investigations Division. I started the Sheriff's Office in 2002 and went into investigations in 2004, and I've been in investigations ever since.
My name is David Higgins. I'm a sergeant with the Bay County Sheriff's Office. I've been with the Bay County Sheriff's Office for almost 16 years.
I started my career at the Panama City Police Department at the ripe old age of 19.
Since I was young, prior to 10 years old, I've always wanted to be a police officer.
When I chose this field, I really didn't think that law enforcement was going to be what I went into. I never thought this is what profession I would end up in.
I was a child of the 60s and 70s, and back then, the cool thing to be was a cop or a cowboy, and there's not a lot of calls for cowboys in Panama City, Florida. Done a lot of cool things in my career, worked around a lot of really good police officers and just people that really care, and you kind of take that from those people. When you work around somebody and you take some of their better traits, and hopefully it makes you better. And I continue to do that still. I still work around people that I have a lot of respect for, and I see some of the great traits they have, and still take some of their traits. And I hope that some of the men and women that work for me to do that for me. But I still try to find those little things that are successful that they do, and you kind of mimic that.
Criminal investigations, in here we basically work all person property crimes that are felony in nature.
He put this container on top of the propane tanks right over there. So
Yeah.
Most of the deputies here, they've been to enough of these calls with us, and we do some training here that a lot of times some situations in the past that the hostage team would have been called out for, our deputies are able to handle it.
We see it every day, certain types of crimes, but to this person, that's maybe the only time they have experienced that.
The people we deal with are either bad people or it's good people that have had a bad day, that's had the worst thing happen to them. So it's not very often we get to, we go see a comedian or a clown that's all happy to see us. Most of the time it's either a really bad person that we're seeing or it's somebody who's been a victim and is having about the worst day of their life. Those are the people we deal with.
When you go and you help that person solve a problem, identify somebody that's done them wrong, and hold that person responsible and get justice for that victim, and just seeing the looks on the victim's faces, there's no way to describe it.
The Sheriff's Office is like a family. It's a brotherhood. When I go to work, I don't feel like it's work. I feel like I'm making a difference in the community for not only myself, but others.
You ain't got a car. I'm gonna help your wife with this 4-year-old boy.
Most of the people that I work with truly care about people. They are everyday people. They have families. They get up in the morning and they have to get their kids ready for school, and then if their kids are sick, they have to go home just like everybody else, and they have to pay bills, and they struggle financially, and they have all the problems that everybody else has.
In my career, I've been on the Beach Patrol unit, which patrols the sandy portion of Panama City Beach, and I've been responsible for several water rescues, which is very rewarding.
We try to, as administrators at the Sheriff's Office, we try to steer everybody into the right thing. The Sheriff's Office is very active in a lot of charities in Bay County and a lot of youth things to try to keep everybody kind of steered in that direction of coping with it in a positive way, helping change somebody's life. So that's probably the ultimate goal that we could accomplish.
There's no way to describe it, but that's why I enjoy doing it. I enjoy helping people, having a servant's heart, and at the same time, going after the bad guys and doing what has to be done to get those guys held accountable, and also the process of putting a good case together so that it sees it all the way through to the courts and everything else until their conviction is done.